Good time zone, chat. Well, I know we're not arenaing right now. Let's, oh, there's the connection lost. There you go. Meant to just kill this entirely. All right. Oh, Aurora, are you one of the beneficiaries? Treat Russell right, please. Use him better than we did, please. Love that he goes to another crappy O-line, though. He's used to running around for his dear life. Ooh. Come on now. There. That'll do. All right, let's get a little sip of coffee there. Got my camera adjusted. I'm not sure how long this downtime is exactly going to be, but I'm presuming we're not going to play Arena today. But it's been weird. Sometime maybe they'll be right back up and we'll figure out something to do. It's just kind of funny because I have not played Arena since I saw you all last. I have barely used this computer since I saw you last, which was Friday. I've spent I've only used this computer since Friday to generate shipping labels for my mad rush to ship cards to TCG Player. For those of you who were around on or weren't around on Friday, TCG Player has a sort program where they will grade and sort your cards for sale for you for a fee. And those fees are very reasonable. They're very good. They're very attractive. They're so good that if you're in my position trying to grow a card selling business, it's an offer you really can't refuse. It's like having incredibly well priced. You just bargain on-demand part-time labor, you know. Well, and they've realized how great it is because they're and I always figured as a loss leader because you're setting up to sell your product on their platform, and then they get the commission, they take their vig out of that transaction too, right? So I just figured they were happy with the loss leadery, make them send their cards to us and we sell them proposition. But they're and so here's the thing, I don't know if Alexis is around yet, but if she shows up, I need to tell her this because it's relevant to her interests. Like they wrote to me, they wrote to all of us on Friday, and here it is in bold. I want to read it. Their communication in bold was, for our Sort Your Products program, all cards, and here it goes bold, processed on or after April 4th will be subject to the updated fees. And then they list these fee updates that represent to me in the amount of product I'm trying to get to them. It represents a multi-$1,000 increase in the cost of this service to me. But they didn't say orders received before April 4th will be processed, will be subject to, will be under the old fee. They said stuff we process as of April 4th. So they have a hopper of incoming stuff. I'm like, I gotta get this stuff in ASAP so that I'm into the hopper quickly behind this huge load of, no doubt everybody's out there scrambling like me who uses this program, and I got to get my stuff in before. so that I'm not taxed this additional multi-$1,000. So my whole life for the past, since I got off air, truly since I got off air on Friday, has been about getting as much as I could to TCG. And I wrote them a letter, an email in response saying, hey, you know, I understand, I don't fault you for raising your prices, and I'm going to continue to use your service after you do, but it's a monkey wrench in my plans, and it's really unnerving to not have any control over whether I've met a deadline or not. I'm just wondering if I'm in the hopper in time, right? It's a very a feeling of lack of control, like it's all out of my control, and I just want them to give me some control that I can work with and meet an expectation. And so I basically wrote that to them, and then so then cut to me scrambling for 4 days here, longer, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 5 days. For 5 days, I took a break to go hang out with and game with some friends on Saturday night, but that's about it. Other than that, I've been doing this for 5 days. I have sent, by my count, I sent 16 boxes of 2,400 cards each in the last 5 days. I've sent 38,000 Magic cards to the East Coast, and I've glanced or more at all of them. And beyond, because I've also glanced at the ones I rejected. And I have a lot of foreign cards mixed in, which they don't take. And there's a penalty if you send in a card that's below their threshold for accepting for the service. It's just a penny, but it's so expensive to ship cards, you can't just go shipping pennies willy-nilly to the East Coast and have it pan out. So I at least glance through and pull the rares and stuff. But holy heck, I am kind of a broken man right now. I've been lifting boxes, lugging. I mean, these are like 10, 11 pound boxes each. And I'm lugging multiple of them to the post office and lifting up all these 5,000 count Magic card boxes to go through. And if I could have pressed a button to magically capture it as reasonable content, it would have been cool. I think you all would have, it would have been fun for you to see me, because it's like panning for gold and mining for treasure. You know, you're sifting through these largely bulk Magic cards, but then stumbling on these, oh, here's a $20 card. Oh, it's fun. And it would have been fun to do with you all, but it just wasn't realistic. If I could have magically made that happen, it would have been fun, but no way to get that done. So yeah, it was all exhausting, but it feels so great because it was kind of the gun to my head, the motivation to do what I've been doing in trickles, but now needed to do in a big lump. But it's good. I needed to do it anyway. But then, so here's your punchline. After all that, I received this email from TCG Player yesterday afternoon. Yesterday afternoon, after I had packed up my 38,000th card. Hello, Ryan. Thank you for contacting TCG Player. We appreciate you reaching out and taking the time to air out your concern and share your feedback with us regarding our Sort Your Products service. I have shared your feedback with our technology and management teams. The team let us know that anything we receive before the April 4th date will be under the old price structure. If you have any additional questions, concerns, or feedback, please let us know. TCG Player, my additional feedback is make that clear in your announcement email. Go look at what you bolded, TCG Player. You told me. Now, is this just for me? Is this because I complained and they're like, for you, April 4th is your deadline? Or is this for everybody and the world is out there scrambling on TCG Player's behalf when they don't need to? This is what I want to make sure Alexis knows, or at least finds out for herself, whether or not this is universal and she doesn't need to panic either. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I would get. I wasn't sure you were here, Alexis, but I see your chat now. It's obviously a huge difference. Right. I almost want to. I mean, Yeah, I'm not Alexis is not panicking because she doesn't have a lot queued up. I'm not panicking because I had a ton queued up. I beat the rush, but half my 38K was in the air when they announced this anyway. So I was already on the road to getting it there, and I don't even mind that I slammed it this weekend, because it means that there is going to be a huge glut now. There is going to be an overflowing hopper for TCG Player, and my stuff is in ahead of that. So in terms of getting it to market faster, I'm quite pleased that I did the big push and got my cards there. But I'm in a great mood today, because despite 5 days of kind of back-breaking, mind-breaking, butt-breaking, oh my back, like sitting on the it's been tough, but it feels so great. I'm also way better in touch with my own inventory now. I'm very excited about my inventory. I was smart / got lucky. I spent basically 2013 through 2017-18 converting all of my recent WotC loot into vintage cube, blinged vintage cube stuff, and that stuff has just exploded. It's been kind of my personal little Bitcoin, which is that, like, it's all on paper. Like, I don't have, and I don't even want to sell it all necessarily, but I feel very fortunate. But now I just feel such relief, because I can even tell you, I talk about it with you guys a little bit, but not too much, because I don't want to call attention to like a bunch of value in my house. But guess what? The value's gone. The value is gone. It's not here anymore. I can say that my blinged out vintage cube is disassembled and either in safety deposit box or on its way to TCG Player. And let me tell you, the earliest shipments I sent were my deconstructed vintage cube and the vintage cube and EDH parts box. So, like, not only my vintage cube, but all my parts box for cubes. It was an insane amount of value, and I talked with TCG Player about how much to send at once and everything. And here's the thing: I don't know, Alexis, have you ever sent something by priority mail flat rate and had it not arrive? Like, I've sent, I don't know, my sample size isn't massive, but I have a multi-100 point sample size now, and 100% of flat rate USPS boxes have arrived. I had once a customer contacted me to say, hey, this thing is saying it's been kind of delayed, but en route for like 2 weeks. And I hadn't even been aware of that, because you ship it and you forget about it, right? But this customer contacted me and said, can we call this one? Is this one lost? And I was like, wow, an actual USPS priority mail tracking numbered, like anything with tracking just gets there 100%. And so here was this one that for the first time was in limbo, and it was like, okay, and actually ended up getting there. I think I either sent him a replacement. Yeah, I think I sent him a replacement, because it was a silly amount of time, and then the second one showed up and he sent it back. So that happens. So I sent my deconstructed cube parts in 3 shipments together, 3 separate boxes, and I estimated, and it was probably a low ball. Well, and maybe it's not low ball, because I pulled the super expensive stuff for the safe deposit box, but I estimated in my shipment to them that it was about $60K in retail value of Magic cards in those 3 boxes, so about $20K each. And I sent them out, and it felt like the Nina Pinta and Santa Maria. I'm just like, please get there. It's out of my hands now. Oh my God. Please get there. Please get there. And I could have taken out insurance, but here's the thing. I'm a gambler. It would be $100 to take out 10,000K of insurance, right? $100 for 10. That is such bad They won't even pay? Well, I'm glad to know anyway. Well, I wouldn't even do it because of the gambling math of it. It's like an inverse bet that's terrible. If you just work out let's say there is $10,000 of value in your item, what percentage of the time is that package lost? Multiply that percentage times 10,000, you get how much you should pay for insurance, right? And it is wildly out of whack. It's just terrible. So I can't, and also if I'm sending, even if they did pay, I'm maxed out at 10K. I think there's about 20K in the box. If this does get lost, I'm still furious. Like, getting the 10K back would soothe, yes, but it would be agonizing no matter what. So, like, it wouldn't even give me the, well, thank goodness I got insurance. I would still be furious, so I was just like, nah, not gonna do it. So, I ship them out. I check in on Saturday. 2 of them have arrived. One of them has only the tracking entry of having been tracked into the system, and it's in limbo. It says delayed. Your package is delayed, but will still arrive. They assure you. Oh my God! I spent 48 hours. I didn't even tell anybody about it until, like, I wanted it all to get there. Right, I don't know, because they were all together, right? Dramatic confusion. 1, 2, 3, piled together. I even took them to the counter and saw them moved into the container all together, and they lost one of the 3 somehow. And then it came back on the radar on Monday, and I was just... Yeah, that's probably it. There you go, Alexis. Although it was a day late. Like, it's not like it arrived. Like, it's not like it then arrived at the same time. I don't know. It did show up back on the radar though, but that was an anxious 36-ish hours before. Well, I considered it. Cardlinger says, "What about self-delivery attaché case?" I considered a plane ticket. I'm not convinced that me lugging around, also we're talking like 16 shipments of, call it just a conservative estimate of 10 pounds each. We're talking at least 160 pounds. But yeah, I considered a plane ticket and doing it myself, but also figured that's fraught with peril in a lot of its own ways. So I just did, given that I had 100% success rate shipping this way, I just decided to trust that excellent history. And so far, the big stuff is there. I got a couple ones still in flight, but they're relative to the big stuff, very minor. And now that I have this news that I have until the 4th, that's great, because I got the major value there, and now I can take a breath and go back through. I still have the thing I haven't processed is like all these sets. I got so many. Every former WotC has a ton of complete sets, either sealed or unsealed, depending on their style. I'm a cube maker, so a lot of mine are unsealed. I really agonized about that choice. Should I unseal these factory sealed singles? But now that I am here selling my cards and trying to optimize the value, I'm probably going to bust open the sealed ones anyway to sell the singles out as parts regardless. But because they're all very well sorted, this is the stuff that I won't necessarily pay TCG to sort for me. The thing I love about the sort program is that they'll deal with something like a vintage cube that's a mix of promos, foils, not foils, all sets, all over the place. That's the nightmare stuff to grade and sort. And so I'm happy to pay them to do that. But cards that are in order in a box, I can just do with the store your product program, where I basically do the sorting and just send it to them to store for me. So that's what I'm going to probably spend the rest of the month doing here. But I'm going to take advantage take advantage of their this window I have to leverage this current pricing. So, whew, thanks for hearing out my update. I know that's not the most scintillating content for everybody, but it's certainly where my head is at right now. So I appreciate you letting me unload a little bit and tell you what's going on there. But it's just such a relief. And hey, when everything does get processed, I'll be able to list it all. I effectively on stuff I really don't want to sell my vintage cube parts yet. I do think of it as still kind of a longer term investment. There's plenty of stuff in the shipments I want to sell, but I'm just going to list my cube parts that I don't want to sell at like. I don't need to be absurd, just at a price that if anybody were to buy it, I could turn around and buy a replacement copy like that, unless somebody did some coordinated buyout, but barring that. But anyway, when that happens, I can share you the link and you all can browse my collection yourself, and you can see what I've spent the last few days poring over. And I've gone ahead and blogged like this on this because we don't have Arena to do, and I've been thinking about there was the Magic Online idea, but I think one of the, definitely I'm probably just gonna do Board Game Arena, and maybe even there's a couple of no hidden information Board Game Arena games we could play live, where I could play with somebody who was watching, and it wouldn't affect things too much. It would. I actually like games like that. As an aside, if you are teaching a young person or a novice gamer to try and enjoy games in general, start with games that don't have hidden information, so that you can discuss everything going on. My favorite example of that is Carcassonne. Carcassone's an excellent entry point to tabletop strategy gaming that has no hidden information. So you can have an open discussion about any given player's decisions, and that's tends to be helpful for new players and lets them feel comfortable and ask questions, and you can have that dialogue without feeling like you're sullying the sanctity of the game. Yeah, you can play with open information anyway, but in some games, that open information or the closed information is an essential part. Most games that have hidden information it's an essential part of the strategy. The exception is hiding information that you don't want players to worry about anymore. Example of this I like is Lords of Waterdeep. When you complete quests that are just worth points, there's some quests that are worth points and some quests that do some other stuff ongoing. If it does other stuff ongoing, you leave it up. But if it's just points, you turn it face down so that you don't encourage players to worry about that. It's not an important piece of information, even though it's open information. So you hide it after the fact to encourage players not to worry about using their brain space on it. So anyway, I want to go and play some board games because among the people I have neglected in my 5 days of card madness, my dear friends who I play board games with on Board Game Arena are among them. So I figured I could hop over there and make some moves on that front. So I'm going to get that set up here, and we'll at the very least start there. What do you know? I got 1 million games on me. How many do I have? I don't know. We'll find out. I should say some hellos. I'm going to do this real quick, though, and we'll get going. But I haven't said hello to anybody. I've just been yammering. Hey, Hat, what's up? What's going on, Mama? Hey, Rob. Tron, welcome. Hey, Tron, I was thinking about your... I didn't actually listen to Rolling when I selected it. I just knew I loved the song, and I went back and listened after you were talking about the Hendrix connection. Yeah, his vocal styling is very Hendrixy in that song in particular. I say if you like it, listen to the opening 3 tracks of that album, or listen to the whole album. But that album in particular has a 1, 2, 3 punch that's quite incredible, and I love the transition from Rolling to the song that follows. It's great. OPK, welcome. What's up, Tant? Hey, Clover. Miss y'all too, but I appreciate you understanding. It's been very helpful. I've gotten so much done with the extra time. I'm sorry that it's come at your expense, but it's been working for me. So still get to stream, but I'm feeling way more productive. Hey, Timber. Papa Get, welcome. Gar's got ads, trying to work that out. I can't believe, is Pete Carroll sticking around? I would, if I were Pete Carroll, I'd be retiring. Like, maybe he's just, I mean, who knows what motivates anybody. And if Pete Carroll's like, oh yeah, rebuilding a franchise, that's a challenge I can't wait to sink my teeth into. Okay, but I would be like, and I'm out. And I wouldn't mind him leaving. Like, it's hard to argue with a Super Bowl winning coach that brought a Super Bowl to your city, but I don't think he has a modern NFL perspective, and the game's passing him by, and he has severely misused Russell Wilson for the past 3, maybe his whole career, but definitely for the last handful of years. And I look forward to, look, I get to watch whatever football game I want, and I plan to watch a lot of Denver Broncos games next year and watch my favorite quarterback chuck them for someone who knows what's what. Arcanite's down for some games. All right, keeping that in mind, Arcanite. Yeah, sorry, Mama, but you had to feel good for him too, right? I don't know. If I have to watch Russell Wilson win a Super Bowl next year, man, I guess that'll be bittersweet. Must have been bittersweet for you, I expect. Because you know, if you like a player, you want them to succeed, even if they go somewhere else, if they go on good terms. And keep trying, Gar. Rackham. Which draft format does the vanilla test work best on, and which one does it work terribly on? It depends on what you think of the vanilla test for. It's really just a reminder to not overvalue negative. I don't know if I've told the origin story in a while, so I'll and I got time today, so I'll give you a quick origin story. I coined the term vanilla test. I'm pretty proud of that because like even other games have adopted it. You know, you got Hearthstone players talking about the vanilla test, and that's me. That's cool. Bringing slang to your community is fun. Apparently, I inadvertently coined threat of activation. I didn't even think of it at the time, but I guess that's mine too. But the vanilla test I coined when a friend of mine, Dave Webb, back when I was working at Surreal Software, Aaron Forsyth had actually befriended me through Fantasy Sports and had gifted me with a bunch of Morningtide Lorwyn product to use to run sealed events at the game studio I worked for at the time. And so we were doing a lot of Lorwyn Morningtide sealed, and my buddy Dave was running a red deck, and he wanted me to deck doctor, look over his choices and give him some feedback. And I looked over his deck, and he was not playing Lowland Oaf. Lowland Oaf, you can card that up in chat, is a hill giant, 3 and a red for a 3/3. And it has an activated ability where you can chuck a goblin. You give a goblin +1/+0 and flying, and then it dies at the end of the turn. Great flavor, right? You got a giant who's taken a goblin and Russell Wilsoning the goblin and chucking them at the enemy. I love the flavor of the card, but it's not, you know, it's not an important ability. And then now this is also at a time where Hill Giants were fine. And also with anything, the question is always over what, right? And I looked at his deck and I saw cards that were clearly worse than a Hill Giant in there. And so I asked him why he wasn't running the Lowland Oaf. And he said, well, I don't have any goblins in my deck. Okay. That was his reason for not running the Lowland Oaf. And that is the moment the vanilla test was born. It was never about, is this card, you know, did it, quote, pass the vanilla test? The vanilla test was never really about pass fail as much. Yeah, I guess you could say it is, because it's format to format. There is no universal grading scale for the vanilla test, if that makes sense. Because a 3/3 for 4 in Lorwyn did pass the vanilla test. A 3/3 for 4 in any modern Magic set would not, right? So the vanilla test is, if it's a pass-fail scenario, it's about the format in question. But really, the point of it was to remind players that the fundamental value of a creature can be its power and toughness, and that you want to start by evaluating the power and toughness against the casting cost, and maybe power and toughness and easy, recognizable, familiar keywords like flying. So French vanilla test or French vanilla test. It lets you set your expectations for the rules text to come and how important it is. Because if you say Lowland Oaf, 3/3 for 4, in my deck, that's already good enough. So then you're already saying, hey, as long as this text isn't downside, I'm playing this card. And then you look and see, oh, well, it throws goblins. I have no goblins, but there's no downside, so I'm going to play this card. There you go. That's the origin story of the vanilla test and the point of it. So if you ask me what set it is best applied in, well, actually, cards. I think Lorwyn is a great example, and Lorwyn, you know, the fact that that its origin story is in Lorwyn is quite appropriate, because Lorwyn was a point in time, and I've talked with Aaron Forsyth about this since. He was pretty, when I kind of met, you know, I was befriending him at that point in time, and he was pretty stressed out about Lorwyn Morningtide because it was not being received super well as a limited format. And part of the reason why was onboard complexity. The constant accounting of Lorwyn Limited, it belied its friendly, easygoing roses and sunshine flavor with a brutal complexity. And it led to situations where, on the one hand, you would have cards like Lowland Oaf, whose value was really all in its power and toughness, and you needed to learn to ignore that rules text to learn to play it properly. To the flip side, where you have 1/1s for 2 and 1/1, you know, very small creatures for middle amounts of mana, where the entire value of the card is the rules text. And so you need to do the vanilla test to say, oh my God, obviously a 1/1 for 2 is completely unacceptable. So this has to have a card's worth of value in the rules text, right? So the vanilla text test works the other way as well. So that would be a place where the vanilla test is at its best in terms of providing players with a tool to cut through the card evaluation process and establish what's important about a card. And the places where it would be least useful are, frankly, the places with the most vanilla creatures, right? So the core sets where a lot of stuff is vanilla anyway, and generally sets with lower complexity are going to be less aided by the vanilla test, since the point of it is to help cut through that complexity a little bit and get to the heart of what matters about a creature card. Vanilla test. On my good days, I have an Aragorn look. On my bad days, I have a Nick Cage in Con Air look. But good to know I'm on an Aragorn day. Pat wants Russ up north. I just want to keep watching him play football. I'm going to be a Russell Wilson fan for a while. I say for life, but hey, you can't, don't you be promising to be fans for life of any celebrity at this point. But Russell's, one of the things I love about Russ is every Tuesday, without fail, he would visit Children's Hospital. It was just like, I don't know if he ever missed. All right. Well, that was a good little AMA aside there. I liked that. But let's play a little, do a little board game in here. I'll hop to the left monitor. I'm gonna try to leave the window open. Oh, I haven't got the Sanderson books yet because I knew I had time to figure it out. I'm trying to hold out and not get the deluxe, but I'm gonna at least get the audio books and the hardbacks because my son likes hardbacks and I like audio, but we'll figure out if I'm getting the full meal deal. And now I've already said hi to Alexis, but hello, Alexis. Yeah, Gar, it's been crazy. But I'll happily share my collection with you all once it's processed and you can view it yourself. How many cards are in the house? I would say probably 100, 150,000 were in the house. 25 to 45K boxes in various places. I'm scrolling quickly through chat now, try to hit the bottom here. Hey, True, what's up? Oh yeah, planes are safe. The plane going down was never my worry. If I was worried about a plane going down, then I'm equally worried about shipping via USPS, right? But yeah, just trying to taking it through on commercial where they can go through my luggage in the check, and it felt, and I'm wandering around a city with it on me. Like, I just like the idea of hand it to the post office. It's within their institution, and it stays within their institution until it's boom at the destination. That really appealed to me. It felt like the safest way. Yeah, I can carry on the stuff I'm delivering. True. I'm not lugging 160 pounds of magic cards. That's the problem, right? I mean, I could take the absolute most valuable stuff, and I might do that. I've actually, that stuff is here still local. But it still makes me nervous as heck just to even be walking around with it. Anyway, moving on. It's just easy to get pulled back into old topics when I'm scrolling down to say hi to people. What's up, Cardlinger? Okay, well, I haven't busted any, I haven't even achieved that point in the process yet. Maybe I'll check in with you before I bust anything open, Alexis, but certainly at least I don't feel like I've thrown away massive value by cracking my sealed sets and using them for cube. And certainly I've gotten an incredible amount of memories and play value playing that cube with people. Yeah, road trip it, same thing. Then I'm exposed to all this risk But that we did talk about that. I seriously talked about just hitting the road with my daughter, especially Clara and I would have a great time on a road trip, making a singing playlist and seeing the country. So that was all possible. But then it all was decided for me when they told me on Friday that I had basically 5 days to get cards to them. Yeah, exactly true. That I just went through all of that and was like, there's no perfect answer. It's just like, which risk do I want to take on? Oh, there you go. Alexis offering to... Great. I'll check in with you before I bust anything. I suppose if Magic Online had Modern Horizons 2, I might have to. I did do more Inscription on my own time. I could go back to that, I suppose. Nah, it's my head's not there. That's kind of where it's been. But I'm going to give a little Inscription spoilers. I'm going to tell you a pretty big thing about what happens in an Inscription game. So I'm going to wave when I'm done talking about the Inscription spoilers. If you've never played this game and you think you might, it's an excellent deck builder slash roguelike along the lines of Slay the Spire. So if that type of game appeals to you, I would mute right now and don't listen to this. But then I want to tell people who know what's what with the game where I'm at. Okay, here we go. All right, spoilers. You find... I think we watched the cutscenes together where we find a disc in the woods, a geocached old school floppy. And it turns out the game we've been playing is from the disc that this guy finds in the woods. When you beat the game in a certain way and unlock the cabin, it actually takes you to 8-bit style, almost Super Nintendo 8-bit style adventure game. Oh, sorry. Still spoilers. It unlocks a lot more content. It turns out that in the hut you only play like one deck style, and there's 4 or 5 different styles of deck. But it turns into a whole different game. Also intriguing, but I chose to use a deck style that wasn't what I started with. So it's a lot to take in. It's kind of like learning a new game and learning a whole bunch of new cards. And unfortunately, it kind of bounced me off of it. Like at the moment, it was a really cool revelation, but then I was like, but I can't handle this right now. And then I've not gone back. I still plan to. And it would be like me learning this new deck in an 8-bit context instead of the opening inscription. So that is where I'm at with Inscription. And if I go back, maybe I'll go with you all. Anyway, okay. End spoilers, giving it a little beat here, and now I'm going to do the wave. Come on. All right. So I could do that. I don't think I'll do it today, but if you like Inscription, I could see picking up where I'm at in that game in the future. In the meantime, let's go crank through some of my games. Here's Dice Hospital, one of my new faves. So those of you who've seen this one will recall that what we're doing here, and for those of you new, I'll explain. The dice are patients, and the lower the number, the worse off they are. If you can heal a patient at 6, they become fully healed and are discharged. If you fail to heal a patient at 1 and the round ends, they die and they go to the mortuary. And then each round, a new ambulance brings in 3 new dice, and you can bring in 3 new dice that you have to heal, and you tend to want to heal in bursts in this game, or you want to discharge in bursts, because if you see this point scale, you discharge 1, you get 1. You discharge 2, you get 3. You discharge 3, you get 5. And you can see that it starts to scale up, and especially if you can get to, you can get some mega turns where you discharge 7, you're getting 2 points per, so you're trying to build up to big turns when possible. But you also have to make sure you leave 3 beds empty, or you won't have enough room in your hospital to take on new patients, and they'll die before they even get there. So you don't want to have that happen either if you can help it. But what you do each round, you also draft some upgrades. So the baseline starting, you don't have any of these specialists, and you only have the starting, these starting. I've only got one. I have added one. I've added a urology department. But you start with these basic 3 colors and these basic and 3 nurses. So anyway, we have evolved to this point in the game. And what's my plan here? With my dice being fairly low and us being on round 4 of 8, this is a round where we're going to be building towards, just as a tread water round. One nice thing here, we've got 3 empty bed slots already. We don't have to heal anybody this round, and we can still take on a full ambulance of 3 dice next round. So really, this is about keeping this die at 1 from dying, and deciding just healing, treating as many patients as possible. Not necessarily even healing. Treating means the die moves down to the bottom and it won't degrade at the end of the round. Any patient we completely ignore will degrade at the end of the round. So one of the things we're trying to do is just, at least touch on as many patients as we can here, and get as many at least healed once so that they don't slide backwards. Because if, going 1 forward is really like going 2 forward, because if you don't do it, they slide 1 back. So it's like a 2 pip swing to heal a die 1. Anyway, let me actually get down to also got to the bottom of chat so I can see any questions that come in. Hello, everybody. If I missed your greeting or whatever to get going here, I'm sorry, but hello. Welcome, everyone. All right, so let's get to it. Let's look at the special ones. Urology says you can, this is great, you can heal 3 patients at once, and you can treat 3 patients at once. But they have to be all yellow and in consecutive sequence. Can we even do this? No, we only have 1 yellow die, so we can't even really go here this time, which is too bad. We want to prioritize yellow patients if we can, so that we can use our suite department. But it is what it is. So we've got 2 with this. When this meeple heals a yellow patient, heal a different patient of any color but with the same value. So heal yellow and then heal a matching rank. Heal red, heal a matching rank. Heal yellow, heal a different yellow. So this is rough. In fact, one thing, we have a tool called blood bags. I got 2 of them. A blood bag lets you heal a patient 1 step or change the color of a patient. So if we wanted, we could change the color of a die to yellow so that we could use this. But then at that point, we may as well just upgrade it. Basically, we're in a bad spot because we have a yellow building and 2 yellow specialists and only 1 yellow die. So our hospital is not well prepared to deal with the patients we have, but that's the case because I used these kick-ass yellow slots to heal all my yellow earlier in the game. That's just the way this game rolls. Oh yeah, the top-down flavor designs in this game are quite excellent. Cardiologist, the heart is red, right? Anyway, so really this is my administrator who's got a special ability. 1 neglected red patient, so a red patient I ignore does not deteriorate. So I could just leave this 1 red just sitting there on the verge of death. I'll probably just do that. And then use others to heal. So let's go, for example, I'll put the red doc, the cardiologist on the 1 or 2. I'll heal the red 2 and then heal this green 2 as well. And then I'm going to go yellow 3 and heal a green 3. See you, Alexis. We'll chat later. And yeah, this is where you're all just not doing much here. Basically just a nurse for this round. And we'll go, oh, like this. This, like this, and like this. And then this is a decent round. Not super exciting, but I can use my administrator to just keep this patient from dying. And green tends to, well, green is the pharmacy, right? So medicines and treatments. I forget what kind of, and then, you know, critical, red alert. But let's see, we can look for some other flavorful. So yeah, immunology is the green version of my urology building. Anesthesiast is red. Paramedic, you got this blue class that's just kind of generalists. Oh, this is a great one. Here's an example of the flavor I love in this game. Drug trial center. Place a meeple on this department to treat exactly 2 patients, re-rolling each die. You must accept the new result. Come on. Flavor home run right there. And then, so here's ear, nose, and throat. So I love it. It's this says place a meeple on this department to heal any green patient. 3 steps. 3 steps of green healing for ear, nose, and throat. I like this building a lot. Actually, you can you just allow patients to deteriorate to level 1, and then you flip, and then no matter what, they get better. You know. Yeah, don't experiment on healthy folks. Experiment on those near death. Again, great flavor, right? What else? Flavor-wise, I guess that's all. A medical student. Yeah, here. Okay, so here we go. This is another good one, flavor-wise, and also shows you that treating a patient doesn't necessarily mean making them better. Along with the experimental, right? If this meeple heals at least 1 patient, heal a different patient 1 step, and deteriorate another different patient 1 step. Both of these patients are considered treated this turn. I find her quite powerful, even though she nets out at a +1 die movement. She sets up working with things like the immunology and urology places where you need not only 3 pips of the same color, but in a specific sequence. So anyway, this game is very good. This is one of my new favorites. It's pretty lightweight in terms of the rule set, but heavyweight in terms of the depth. I love it async because you have these complicated meaty turns like I just took here, and I don't have to worry about my friends waiting for me while they're drumming their fingers to take their turn. They can take their turn as they're going, you know. So anyway, love Dice Hospital. We're gonna call this. Oh, I could activate my blood bags if there was a value to it here, but I'm really happy with this turn, how this turn played out. So we're going to save this and be happy that I treated everybody. There's a free-to-play mode that I think restricts how much you can play. I am a monthly subscriber, and so I get unlimited play, but it is a nominal fee. This is one of my true entertainment bargain values in life right now is Board Game Arena subscription. Oh yeah, there's also some premium games. Thanks, Rachel. So you can't play every game, but it's so worth it. I recommend it quite highly. Oh, and so here's how, just for if you don't know this game, the way the round starts is you take the number of players plus 1 and roll that number of ambulances, and the ambulances go from lowest to high. One player gets to move stuff around that when there's a tie, right? So in this case, for example, Hawsey, my friend Hawsey, is the person in charge of the dice movement, and if he wanted to, he could move this yellow 4 to ambulance slot 4 and move the red 4 to ambulance slot 3. Why would he want to do that? Because then we draft ambulances, and sure, you can take the ambulance with the most healthy patients that are easiest to heal, but then you get last pick of the upgrades. So the upgrades you draft after you draft ambulances in, and the lowest ambulance number you have, the ambulance number you have is also the draft pick you have of upgrades. So there's a really fun tension of do I want healthy patients or a better power up or something in between, and you can, it's a clever part of the experience. So there's Dice Hospital for you. I love that one. I was talking about games without hidden information as being good to play with novice gamers, or in a online, or a spot like this where I could play potentially with someone viewing. We've got Patchwork, which is a great 2-player game. Good 2-player games are important frequently, especially if if you're in a relationship and you got games around the house. 2 players is the core thing to be able to take care of in your gaming. And this is one I like a lot. My buddy Chris just can't stand it and doesn't play it with me, but my buddy Nick likes it. Hawsey, he plays with me. I like it's a combination of Tetris and but really strategic kind of resource planning and income planning. It's been a weird one so far, because in this game, buttons are your currency, and here's the pieces are surrounding our board. Here, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can just at least see kind of how this looks from a distance, how the board is set up. We'll zoom back in to make decisions. Actually, you could probably do it from here, and it might even be better. But basically, each of us are building this board. Here's this center track that's tracking our progress. We start over here, and when you get a piece, it has 2 components to it. It's cost, and it's cost in time and cost in buttons. So here's one that costs 2 of each. So I could take this one. I've got 2 buttons, so I can afford this. In fact, this one costs 7 buttons and is red because I can't afford it. This one costs 2 buttons, so I can afford this as well. You only get to choose from the next 3 pieces on the table from where the pawn is. So I can't choose this one. I can only choose this one, or I could just choose to advance and catch up to my opponent. But that's a move you don't want to do if you can help it. But I may have to here, depending on, I'll show you how this plays out. So the pieces I've put down so far have no buttons on it. And this is really bad for me, but it's just been the way this is played. Game actually has a lot of variance. When you only have 3 tiles to choose from, you're kind of stuck with what's in front of you, and you got to try and make it work. And so far, I've not done that super well here. It's in an awkward spot because I can spend the 2 buttons, and I'm going to spend 2 and move 2. So here's my piece right here, my time track. So I'm going to move 2, 1, 2. But that puts me behind this button where I generate income. But it doesn't matter anyway because I have no income to generate. When you cross over a button, you get buttons equal to the number of buttons on your quilt so far. I have 0, so I have no income. I desperately need a piece with income. But look, the 2 pieces I can afford also don't have any income. So this has just been a really rough board for me. We'll see how it plays out. I'm going to just take, let's see. I can look ahead a little bit because the other thing is you don't take turns per se. It's always the turn of the person whose token is the farthest behind on the time track. So even when I advance my token 2 spaces, boom, boom, I will still be this far behind Nick on the time track, and I'll be broke. So what I'm going to have to do is use the advance action, and that will advance me 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll move me past Nick, and I'll get 4 buttons for the trouble. But you really don't want to... If you're clicking this button, things aren't going well. Ideally, you navigate this game without using the advance button very much. In this case, things just aren't breaking my way, and it is what it is. And so given the option of this 2-2 versus this 2-2, I'm going to go for the one that fills up the most space on my board. That's a good tiebreaker, as long as they both fit reasonably. Because how full your quilt is part of the scoring at the end of the game. So I could do like this, and then try to capture this piece later. It's a 2-player game, so I'm kind of 50-50 to end up with access to this piece. But it's a little greedy. It keeps the rest of this wide open, though, which is the nice thing about it. I could just go here. That's probably fine. It makes it a little bit of a tight corridor in here, which I don't love. But as you can see, there's a lot of two width pieces. It's these 3x3s. A piece like this down here that could never fit in a spot like here that's a little challenging. Another thing I could do is like put it here and really understand that I'm just closing this whole thing off and trying to fill it with the pieces to come, but leaving this whole space over here wide open. So those are the space planning challenges of this game that I like about it. Actually, I think I've changed I'm going to do this. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put it here. And then with this space here, with this double, I can either fill it if I get lucky here, or on the time track, if I'm the button that passes by these, see, you kind of wind towards the center, and then you end when both players hit the center. But whoever passes over these 5 patch tiles gets an extra singleton square to throw on the board. So either I can use this, or if I get 2 patches, I can throw 2 patches in there. And it tucks it in here and gives me the most flexible wide open board for future placement. So I'm going to do that. Then we advance. And here I am. Now all of them are red. I'm flat broke. All these cost buttons. There are some 0 cost pieces, but none here available to me. So my only move is advance 4, which is kind of a bummer, but it's just been a rough game on the variance front for me there. Lost Ruins. This is my favorite strategy game of the moment. This is a little bit deeper. I've talked about it on stream before. A big elevator pitch overview. It's an Indiana Jones flavored style game. You've got archaeologists that are it's worker placement with archaeologists that you send to this board. And sending to the board explores places and gets resources and stuff. And you generally use the resources to advance your research tokens. You have a magnifying glass and a journal, and you pay the resources you gather from your worker placementing to move your tokens up this research path, getting more research, more points, more. And there's also a deck building component. You go to these places. You go to these places to earn resources and you also have hand resources in the form of cards. And you deploy the cards as well, and you can buy cards to add to your deck that are better than the starting ones. So you can also exile cards from your deck to thin out your deck and make it more dense with the good stuff as well. We're here in round 1. This is a 3-player game. This is going to be a boring turn because I think I don't have anything to do here. We're at the very, very end of round 1. I am completely out of resources. I have 1 card in my hand, but it doesn't actually do anything. It's actually a negative. It can help you travel to these lower spots. That's what this boot in the upper corner is for. But I've already used all my archaeologists, so I can't even travel with it. So really, I'm just passing the turn. It might even warn me because I have a card in my hand, but I have any resources I can spend here. So there's nothing to do but pass. It might be my turn to go first, though. We'll see if it's me who's going first here. Nope, Hex Star. Friend from chat. I don't know if Hex is here today, but been playing a lot of these games with Hex. There's another one with Hexstar and Deep Thought around the corner. Okay, this is my friend Chris's current favorite tabletop, and he is a very picky gamer, very thoughtful gamer, knows what he likes, knows what he doesn't like, and this is his current favorite. He does not like the graphic. As he said, the graphic. Here's his commentary. The graphic design in this game is a train wreck. Hazy says, yeah, huge turnoff. As a geriatric gamer, I just can't read the board or tell who's who. Player colors are shades of brown. That said, I love this game. Not sure about it async though. So this is my first playthrough on this game. Your currency round to round is rage. Rage is what you spend to do things, and what you can do is deploy. You can, well, let's see. Oh, I don't have any. So now, right now, we're in a battle, and so this is just an easy pass. But here, I want to get to this part. So my buddy Nick is the attacker, and I lost. But in this game, losing isn't bad because it's about glory. It's not terrible. It's better to lose than to not fight at all in this game, basically. And so my actions that I can use with my rage are play a quest, play an upgrade, invade, march, or pass. And invade means bring one of my units from basically outside the game onto the board somewhere. March is to move my unit from one place to an adjacent location. And it looks like maybe it's that I don't have there's no option. You also have an ability that I don't have right now because it's just not possible on this current board to pillage, which is to say, if you've got a board presence at a place that has not yet been pillaged, you can pillage and try and earn the bonus. And there's various, so my hand contains goal cards. Like this one says, if completed, have the most strength in at least one Mannheim province. So there's these three northern provinces. If my team, and this is where I agree, like, is this me? I don't even know. I think this is me. So this is already, yeah, I think I've already pillaged this place. This is my token. So hopefully I have the most strength here, and and then when this round ends, I will complete this, but I still need to play it. So actually, to make sure I get if I'm out of, it's free. It doesn't require any rage to play my quests. But if I'm out of rage, I can't do anything. So I can't wait until I'm at 0 to play my quests, or I don't get to play them. So for now, I'm just going to play this quest because I really want this monster of mine to give me the greatest strength in this territory so that I complete this Mannheim quest at the end of the round. So that's what I'm going to do. But basically, the game is about building up forces, clashing, using little battle buffs to kind of like, gotcha, I get plus whatever this battle. Haha, got you back, I get even more. Or you even get stuff like, if you lose this battle, benefit, right? So sometimes you can go into a battle knowing you're going to lose, but you've got a power-up card that rewards you for losing, and so it's kind of the point of it. You can also spend rage to upgrade your squad in some way. I don't really have, I don't think I have any. I did this. So like I've done this. I've done a fire giant and deployed a fire giant, but I've also done this Odin's inspiration that says double your glory award for dying during Ragnarok. So I knew that I was going to be losing some battles here, so I played this one so that I get some extra reward for my valiant death in losing battles. So I kind of like that the game, while it's about battles, it's not necessarily about winning battles. Winning battles is good and has benefits, and you're trying to, but you're also trying to cleverly mitigate losing battles, and that's kind of a clever way to approach this game. But here I'm going to play my quest. And we'll call that a turn. Parks. This is another worker placement, but it's got an interesting thing where it's worker placement with a direction. Normally worker placement is like, oh, here's a smorgasbord of options, and choose which of your smorgasbord of options you want. But in this case, you don't get to choose behind you with a hiker. So I've got two workers that I place per, but once the worker moves forward, they can't be placed. They can't be placed backwards. So you got to be thinking in terms of moving forward in this game. And first, my choice is which of my hikers to move. And then I'm going to choose where to move them. And moving to these slots does different things. If it's got one of these resources up top, it means you just get that resource. If it's got two, this has got an expansion. If it's got a tent and a resource, you have to choose whether you want to do the tent action or choose the resource action. And what you're doing is gathering these resources to ultimately visit parks. And in order to successfully visit a park, you need to pay the resources listed at the bottom of the park. And it's a really cool game, very beautiful. The art, the graphic design is the polar opposite of the one we were just looking at. It's gorgeous and draws from the real world. These are U.S. national parks, and so it's cool to learn about. Hey, you can plan your vacation from this game. And there's little bits going on, like note that these parks all have a resource on them. That's probably from some seasonal effect, because this game has season. Oh yeah, here it is. Season of Splendor. You can see right here. Add sunshine on the 3 current parks. So when this season started, boom, not only does visiting this park give you the benefit, give you the points, you also get a bonus resource by going there. So we're going to keep that in mind as we take our turn here. This open slot here, turn in 1 token and gain any 1 token, excluding wildlife. You may do this a second time. So this is just a space to convert resources. And this is a game where there's, much like Waterdeep, there's 2 levels of resource. There's the water and sunshine, which are kind of, call it common or uncommon. And then there's mountain and forest, which are rare. So basically, a spot that would give you, generally the mountain and forest are twice as valuable as a resource in the game as the sunshine and water, right? So this is a spot where if you had excess sunshine and water, you go to it and you make mountain and forest to convert your, it's basically like converting 50 cents into $1 here, and you can do it twice. I believe that the thing to do here, given that I have the 2 sunshine, is to do that. Again, you want to take as small movements as possible. I don't want to leap out over to here. So I'm going to choose this hiker. I'm going to go ahead and choose this spot. And then I'm going to exchange 2 tokens. And I'm going to turn sunshine into... this is where I need to look. I might actually have reserved a yeah, I do. See, I have 2 parks that I can. Oh wait, are these completed? Oh yeah, tapped is reserved, untapped is completed. So these I've completed, but I've got this park in reserve here that needs, well, it already has the forest that I need. I already got the wood I need, but also, and this is my hidden bonus. For every 2 parks I complete that have a forest, I get an extra 2 point. I get an extra 2 points for every 3 parks I complete with a forest. So I really want to focus on foresty parks anyway. And there is one here that's double forest. So I'm going to get at least a second forest. But then since I have no mountain, I'm going to go ahead and convert for a mountain as well, just to spread it around. And we'll call that my turn there. Here's another good no hidden information game. I try to call those out when I see them because they're great games to play with younger folks and newer to gaming folks, so that you can talk about all the possibilities. Love this game. So simple, so elegant, yet so deep in its strategic ramifications, and it really scratches that Tetris itch too of creating a board that makes some sense. You are drafting these dominoes, and to place a domino, you only need to match just one side. So this can go here. This is wild. So you can see this can go, there's all sorts of places this can go, as long as it matches one of these sides. Totally cool. You can note that there's different colors of squares, and that some of the squares have crowns on it. The scoring is very simple. You take the number of contiguous squares of one color and multiply it by the number of crowns in that contiguous segment. So here, let's look at this blue. I've got 4 blue tiles connected, so that's 4. They got 3 crowns on them. Right now, this blue sector is worth 12 points. If I were to take this double blue and throw it here, it would add 2 more blue, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blue times 3, so it would go up to 18. So basically, anytime, like if I got 3 crowns on it here, each blue square I add is another 3 points. So boom, boom, this is a 6-point play to put it there. But right now, I'm working on my current play, which is placing a yellow crown and a light green field. I really want to connect it to the other crown. I've split my yellows, which isn't ideal, but this game makes you do that sometimes. You just have to make your choices. So there's a couple ways I could do this. I could go like this, which basically strands the green in here and says, whatever. I'm not going to try and get points out of that. I think I might do that. One of the reasons why is light green is one of the rarer spots. Black and brown are the rarest, and they are dense with double crowns, but there's not a lot of them. Green is right beyond those. It only has 2 double crowns, and both of them are out. I believe green's point scoring is only in 2 double crowns and 2 single crowns. So 3 of the 4 tiles that can even produce points with green are already out. So thanks, Dee. I'll keep that in mind. So I don't even like going for green here, but to that end, I could also do this. Yeah, I kind of like this. Although I do want to get this double blue, and if I do that, I take the double blue and I put it here, and then I've locked my dark green. I've blocked out my dark green in a way I don't like. So if I do plan to go, but I might go for this. Maybe that's the play. Do that, but then grab this. And now my next play here is going to be probably here with the crown here and the brown here. Put the brown down, and then have a triple yellow crown here to build upwards on, and still keep both of these crown paths open over here. And then while water is, and also the thing though is, if I had taken water, I get first pick next round. So the more point dense tiles are at the bottom, but if you pick the point dense tiles, you get a later pick in the next round. So you're balancing immediate points based on what you're seeing against the potential points of the next round that you don't know what's going to be there yet. So very simple, elegant game, but just a lot going on, and highly recommended. We have the settings on that reward you for having your castle in the center. One of the reasons I like that mode is that it takes away a decision point. There's a lot of deciding that goes on in this game anyway, and if one of the decisions I had to make was where on this map I wanted to put my castle, it's almost just like, I don't want that decision. Please take away one of the decisions for me. All right. This one is I'm on my second play of this. The first play I was just clicking stuff. But this is a new installment of the Seven Wonders franchise. It's I don't know how many players it can do, but basically every turn you get to pick from 3 items, and your neighbors, like my neighbor Hawsey and I have access to this pile. My neighbor Chris and I have access to this pile, and Chris and Nick have access to this pile, which I don't, right? And then we all have this universal pile, and we got to choose which one to take. I still don't even know the exact rules fully, but I know that what I'm trying to do is complete my monument, and this next piece says 2 equals, so we need 2 that are the same. So that's what the equal means. I need to have 2 building blocks in my pile that are the same, and as opposed to like here, which needs 4 that are different. So I'm just going to take this gold. I'm not even sure. I don't think this does much. I'm going to take the gold though. Oh, how did that work? Clearly I don't know how this works yet, because I didn't think that was going to happen. Maybe gold is wild card? Gold must be wild, because that wasn't supposed to complete unless I matched 2 of the same. So again, I'm still figuring out this game, and I assume that what happened there was the gold matched it. But that's good. I'm making progress there. Next up. Oh, this is an interesting one. I've got 2 choices here. I can take the double yellow and put it here and complete right there. Or I can take the double blue, complete here, and take a negative point, but then I complete here and I don't leave anything around for the next round, which is pretty appealing. So yeah, this is a game where you're selecting from groups of tiles, and you got to place them on your board. And if you fill out any of these rows at the end of the round, that tile gets filled in over here. So at the end of this round, since I filled it with 5 black, this black tile will fill and score me some points. Since I filled this 1 with red, this red will fill and score me some points. And so I'm trying to figure out if I fill this 2 lane with 2 yellow, or complete this 3 lane with a single blue. Yeah, what I like about the yellow, and I think Alexis sees it, if I go yellow, I don't like leaving 2 behind for the next round. You want to keep this as clear as possible before the next round. Also, I don't like my friend Chris here getting the easy deuce to fill in his, and stealing stuff from your opponents is actually kind of important in this game. Although if I take this from Chris, he just takes the double yellow here and is fine with that as well. So I can't mess him up too badly, although this is a great spot for him, to be honest, because the more tiles on this board that your thing is adjacent to, the more points you score. So if I play the 2 yellow here, it's going to score here, and I get all these adjacency points going here. If I go here, I only get the adjacency point on here. So it's worth more points to go here. Interesting. I think I'm going to give Chris the big hookup and take the 2 yellow, because this sets up for a big turn next turn. When I do complete this yellow being complete, I'm going to score a ton of points by completing this blue next round. So really still getting my feet wet in this game. I'm starting to get my a sense of things here and what's important, but it's another really good, elegant game that has a lot going on for what's a fairly straightforward mechanic once you pick it up. Less straightforward is Tapestry. I don't know how to be good at this game yet, but I at least understand how to play it at this point. On your turn, you have these 4 different resource types representing the 4 different tracks of advancement on the civilization. You got your blue, your yellow, your red, your green, and they map. I wish they would just map more color directly to this, but anyway, each of these currencies is most associated with a single track. On your turn, you pay currency to advance your token on one of these tracks, and then you do what it says and get points. Let's see. What are we going to do? Less tempted to eat the tiles. That's funny. Do not eat the tiles. You know you have a good graphic design in your game if your players are compelled to put the parts into their mouths. But I know that my wife, who's an artist, among other things, is very much like that. She tends to want to consume beautiful things. All right, what am I doing here? Flailing about is what I'm doing. I am orange, and let's look at my. This doesn't affect me too much right now, but these do. So I got to understand what's going on here. This era, whenever you place an income building in your capital city game, 3 Veeps. So I'm looking to place income buildings if I can. And when played, gain any landmark. Okay, that doesn't do anything anymore. So if possible, though, I want to place an income building in my capital city. So let's see what resources I have. I have 2 left. I'm going to see if I can find a move that allows me to do that from any position. I can't make this move. Over here does. So over here I can move and mark it as a building that I can put in my capital city and score that point. So I'll probably do that. Yeah, I can't do it down here either, so I like it. Let's do that. Here's my capital city. I'm going to place this building in it. And I'm going to do it here. There we go. That should give me 3 extra points, which is cool. And then confirm, and I'm done. Another Tapestry game over here. I'm going to skip this one. Yeah, it's complex, and I don't want to have to try to explain it fully. Here's another Lost Ruins game I'm playing, where I might be able to take a little bit more meaty of a turn here. Didn't do much last time. In this case, this is at the early in the first round. In fact, am I first? Oh yeah, I'm first player. So I get the first move of the round. So I'll do that, and then we'll call this done. I don't know which game I was on. Real Men. The previous game was Tapestry, a civilization-style game, and this one is Lost Ruins of Arnak, which is up there with my current favorites. So, what are my priorities? I'm losing this race up the investigation ladder to Nick, but I have one thing I want to do this round is get my yellow magnifying glass up into here, because these bonus tiles are first come, first served value. So it's kind of a race to snap up these extra tiles that you see on this track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10 extra tiles here. This is an upgrade. The resources are kind of in order of their scarcity. Gold is easy to, gold into compass, into tablets, into arrowheads, into jewel. Jewels are the, and basically the upgrade token allows you to take a tablet and turn it into an arrowhead, or an arrowhead and turn it into a jewel. So upgrade one of those resources. Right now I don't have any, but I'm going to want to use that. So I want to acquire a red jewel so that I can go up here. And then I also want to acquire a tablet or a blue arrowhead so that when I do go up here, I can upgrade one of them and make sure that that move is not in vain. So that's the priority for me. And as the first player, generally what you want to do is be the one to take advantage of these sweet spots that have opened up, or go to one yourself. So for example, I have, I could even go, well, here I can turn a compass into a jewel. So it looks like turning a compass into a jewel is how I'm going to get my jewel to go up there. But let me see if I can take my first turn on either going to one of these open spaces, one of these already discovered spaces, or I can discover a new space myself. To go to one of these spaces that's not yet been discovered requires an extra 3 compasses, but it can be worth it because you get the bonus indicated, and you get and it's like it's a little Christmas present. It's like what's underneath here. So I got to decide right now whether I'm definitely going to make my first move about deploying one of my archaeologists to the board. My question is whether I'm going to do it at one of these slots or pay the. It is busy, but like a lot of these games, you get over the hump and internalize what's going on, and it simplifies it quite a bit. The way to think of it is just. There's really 3 sections. There's the section of deploying your architects, your archaeologists for stuff. There's spending your loot on advancement, and then there's buying cards. And then there's a lot going on in each of those things. But if you compartmentalize it into those 3 areas, it ends up being pretty sensible after you play it for a bit. So I like kind of going here. I was saying that one of the things I need is a tablet or a blue arrowhead to be upgradable by the jewels. And I can just hold my... I have a second archaeologist, so I think I'll do my uncover something new archaeology on the next round. And so I'm just going to go here. And that means I click on it, and I choose how I'm going to pay for my travel. And travel payments are, you got to pay for the upper corner. Oh, one thing is I do have an assistant who's good for car travel, not for boat travel. It's a little bit of a bummer that that this is a boat cost, because I get kind of a free car travel with her. So maybe I could go here. It's a little, well, yeah, actually, I like this. This still has a monster on it. But I can defeat the monster for Veeps. And I have actually the tools in hand to do that. So, and it still gives me a tablet to upgrade, which is fine. And extra jewels is also fine. I got to take on some fear, but I've changed my mind. With the power of my assistant, I'm going to go to this spot. And now my turn is over, or will be over. But at some point in this round, I will pay boot compass to defeat this monster. And besides the 5 victory points I'll get for that, in the upper right corner, it shows the card with the X through it. It also means I get to exile a card. And given that I have 2 fear and just took on a 3rd, it will be nice to use this to get rid of, to exile one of the fear cards from my deck. So we'll do that at some point coming up. But for the purposes of this turn, we are done. So there we go. All right, the only game left is a Tapestry game that I'm not going to get into right now. There's my board game arena turns. Haven't taken my turns in this games in 5 days, so glad to toss my friends a bone here and keep those games going. Siriana, are you around? You wanna throw down with our sealed decks? That might be something I do, but I don't think I want to draft fully right now, but I might battle Siriana. Siriana did you win 1 or 2K? I forget. I know you won. I know you cashed, right? I think it was 1K if I remember. But I was really bummed at how poorly I did with what I thought was an awesome sealed deck. And Siriana has an awesome sealed deck. And we thought it might be fun to throw down with our Awesome sealed decks, and give mine a chance to shine a little better than it did when I played it. I was distracted and misplayed it badly and went 1-3 with really a fantastic. Yeah, let's do best of 3. Aw. Siriana can't right now. No problem. Well, maybe I'll... Oh, you know, I still have a draft to finish. I'm going to finish out the draft we started long ago. I think it's a ninja draft that, yeah. So we have 1 or 2 games left, depending on how we go. Yeah, Timber, if you want to pull a deck, I could do that too. Why don't I start here, and then maybe if I'm feeling it, Timber can wrangle a deck of his own from the sealed event, and we'll do that. Let's go ahead and try this deck out. See how this finishes. Still have more memes to load from Prof. I'm not up to date because, like I said, I didn't do anything at this computer. Uh-oh. Hopefully that's not a portent of bloody hair tosses to come. This looks good. And we are 5-2, I believe, right? One drop, one drop, one drop. Play a 1-drop with 1 toughness. Aw. Ooh, well, hello. I wasn't loving any of our turn 2 plays, and we had 3 decent ones, but I like Modern Age Later if possible. I liked a Ninjutsu Moonhacker if possible, and I like to kill something with life if possible. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the Infiltrator and know that I can hack it next turn if they don't come up with a blocker. How are we 5-2? Oh, this isn't, if you're saying, what the heck, how did we get here? This is an old draft deck. If you're saying, how did we lose twice with this bomb-heavy deck? Well, that's magic, but but we're this far along because I picked up a previous effort. Well, you're gonna regret that one pretty big, my friend. All right, perfect draw there. We even get to replay Infiltrator, which I'll do again over life. Maybe we'll find something to pick off here. Yeah, you don't want to make that play against ninjas. I mean, we're black-blue. Open mana. One toughness. Although at this point I'll take the +2/+2 and that'll be fine as well. How about 4 toughness but no crew is also acceptable. Modern Age to find a 4th land drop, also sensible. And if we do, we can still life, so let's start there. There's the land. Let's pitch Specialist and get it back with Kami. I'm going to adjust my window so I can see chat a little better too, so that I don't have to make any decisions for myself. Yeah, we just pitch Kami. Sure. We're a couple mana off. Let's just be grown-ups. Man, we get a rummage as well, or a loot as well. Yeah, there's another one we could pitch. We're certainly going to do this. And I like just ditching the completion. We have specialist to bounce. And the backwater, although this is not going to be a 5th mana on turn 5, so maybe this isn't the land I'm looking for, really. I'm going to ditch the land. It doesn't actually give us the turn 5 play. Well, we have this pretty cool, although, yeah, not to get... We got something there. Not super exciting, though. I guess we kill the decoy. Although if we kill the 1/1, we can attack successfully with the hacker here and ninjutsu it back. I'm going to do that to... Oh yeah, I did have the bounce available. That's fair. Ooh, that's interesting too. Yeah, I'm gonna ditch this now. I think we just have an excellent going on. Excellent spot going on here. Do you agree with this, or maybe even just the completion? I think this. I think maybe that's crazy, but this feels great. Because we can go Prowler and Thief. Yeah, completion was the other option, but I like being able to block, tap down a blocker. We'll let the hacker hit. Yeah. Well, how would you do it? How do you want to... There's a lot... This is why this is such a brain-breaking deck. There's a bunch of sequencing we can do. We have the thief, we have the thief and the hacker. Yeah, the 3/1 can give itself its boosts. So I think we just need to Prowler one and then Thief the other, right? And since the Prowler can do itself, that's all good. Oh yeah, that's right. These things that have already given us great value also will show up and help us close out the game. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That. So we can bounce this. I like that. Open on bounce, and then we can ninjutsu the hacker. A lot of open mana, pausing. I'm not sure what the pause is about yet. I guess you can crew a tapped creature, but this doesn't have the... Oh yeah, it can. So that's all that was, I guess? Yeah, it could be. Let's make him have it. It would explain it. Most people don't just randomly crew something. Doesn't matter, though. Whoa. I'm gonna do it. This is all fine. That was a good turn for Oppo, but it doesn't do anything about the glider and the infiltrator, which are currently set to close them out. So I still feel fine about this. Not gonna throw everything on that though. They get the attack here. Complete the prototype and get it off our backs. Whoa, I could actually cast and equip the octopus, but into all this open mana, I am not feeling it. I am going to have the completion ready and just try for an attack here, see how it goes. Oh, what did I think of then? Yeah, sorry, Siriana. Maybe it was just that you made it, I was thinking you made it to day 2 then. There we go. Now we understand it, Hat. So, no problem. Still get to swing in, still get to... Yeah, just mow him down now. Prowl for lifelink and a replay of the Toshiro. Ugh. Jeez.
They should have said the poet.
Specialist. Yeah, I'll just bounce the glider. I don't know. There's so many things to do here. I don't even know. This is what the ninjutsu deck does to me. My brain is broken. And I think we just let this happen and then specialist the decoy after combat. There's no need to ninjutsu this in, really. In fact, it would be actively negative here. I could have bounced my own glider, but just reducing blocking when they're at 4 seems correct with the completion in hand. They have to come up with a lot here for us to not win, and completion says that's not even enough. Perfect removal spell at just the right time. Yeah, it's true. I could just go around it. In fact, the blocker here is going to be the same way. I guess they get... Yeah, it's still not enough. But I showed him. I showed Oppo we had the perfect removal for that bomb. Yeah, that is the one... I don't even know if I like it, but certainly the play pattern of vehicles getting effectively providing a second blocker, a backup blocker for your blocker. It's not a second blocker, but it's a blocker if they do something about your first blocker, right? No, it was perfect removal for that creature is what I'm saying. That, come on. Hear what I mean and have my back. When you can not kill one of those mythic dragons and get it decommissioned while on board, that's perfect. All right. For the marbles. Another good looking hand here. Nice and complicated. Ready to break my brain. Hacker? Prowler? Kind of like Prowler backed up by Life. Although Hacker backed up by Life is interesting too. Just pass? Why do you want to just pass? It's not Friday, Rob. You gotta play something. I'm gonna go Circuit Hacker. Brilliant. What a life. Wow, what a choice. I feel like we need both lands. You can't pitch Behold. But Sky Swimmer's powerful in the air on 4. It's got to be Koi or Prowler. But I feel like it's Prowler, Rob. Although we don't have a play next turn. You're right about that. Prowler is the turn play for next turn. And then if we keep completion, we have something to do on 4. So I'm coming around to Rob's line. Mainly because we don't have anything to do next. Although, no, we're playing a third land this turn. Sorry, this isn't turn 2. So we will have 4 mana next turn, Rob. I think you're living in a dream world, Rob. You remember our opponent gets to do stuff. You think we're just gonna... Our opponent's gonna say, you know what? I'm not gonna play spells. You ninjutsu and prowl with your 1 toughness ground creatures all day long. Go for it. I just don't think that's going to happen. So I am going to actually pitch the Prowler. And I'm going to play the Koi next turn most likely and save the removal for when needed. Well, I'm going to go for the +2/+2. We'll see if they pick off the hacker from underneath or not, but make them have it. If they use a card on the hacker here with what we've got behind, that's fine anyway. Yeah, I'm fine with that. But you get what I'm saying, Rob? It's not a powerful engine. I want a powerful engine too, Rob. A 2/1 and a 3/1 attacking without being blocked on the ground as your, quote, powerful engine, that, my friend, is actually not powerful. That's fragile as F. I have removal on hand. It's very precious, and I don't want to use it. My 4 mana removal to clear their random 1/1 token to get through on the ground. There's just way too many things that that make that terrible feeling to me. All right, well, they're going to get one of these. Let's start with an attack and then Behold. They're never blocking, so beholding before combat doesn't really matter. I suppose I could have. Maybe they have some -2, you know. But I think they're planning to fire this off anyway.
Behold! Behold!
Whoa!
Hell yes, whoa!
All right. Oppo with the 2-2. What'd they do to it? Twisted and braced it. I see. I missed that part. Grave Lighter. Forcing a sack seems great here. We're going to do that quite happily. And Specialist behind also. This is all good. Keeping both of those. Actually, maybe I'll just attack and ninjutsu. There's no need to... they're never going to block. So we'll just bounce it. And even get to replay it. But not... We'll try and... We'll replay it next turn. And, I'm just gonna... Well, yeah. Let's do this again. Let's do this. Let's be extra wacky. This is a 1 toughness, so we drop the life and kill it. That's... Oh, I didn't want to replay this turn anyway. So I figured, how do I want to use the 2 mana? And, ninjutsuing in the Prowler seemed correct for that. Shut up, Rob. Rob effectively going, see, told you I was wrong. Man, we could bring that back. This is something else. But let's attack for 6. If they want to block, that's fine, right? Oh, I can't attack. It's got summoning sickness like they do. I'm gonna go out this format wanting to attack with my flipped sagas. So let's go. You do hardcast specialist. Just bounce that. That seems pretty good, honestly. I'm doing it. Keep setting them back turn after turn here. Yeah, it was enough for them. Annoyed them into an early victory for the 7-win Sicko Ninjutsu deck. Even my brain couldn't fail this deck. Let's see. Can you free Rob? It's easier for you than it is for me. I don't even know where they give me really easy ban tools and then not super easy undo. But Rob has done his time in the corner. Thank you. All right. I'm going to take that. Be happy. And, all right, I will do one best of 3 sealed match against Timber, if you're ready, Timber, but then I'm going to call it a stream to show you the deck I'm playing. I'm going to use my sad 1-3 Arena Open deck that deserved better than what I did. Yeah, it's funny. No spell casting. So, what do we like about this? Easy splash, good mana. We get Fade into Antiquity and 2 Gloom Shriekers. Chat questioned my spinning wheel kick inclusion in my games. It was I did get it. The game I won, I got a 3-for-1 off it, and in one of the games I lost despite the 2-for-1 I got off it. I think it's definitely worth playing in my experience, and the mana is good enough. Between 2 Terrariums, the Haven, and 2 on-color dual lands, the mana is quite good here. So that's what I'm going to be running. I haven't seen... Hey, Timber, are you gonna? Can you confirm? Are you with me? Am I gonna send you a challenge? Are you ready? Let's find out. Except I can't because I need Timber's deets. Let's see. Give me your user. I could probably find it in one of Hat's old communications. That's what I'll do. That's thinking. Oh, or wait for Hat to beat me to it. Right on. Oh, that's right. I did this by, well, let's see. I said best of 3. Let's see if Timber remembers or whether we have to redo. I did say best of 3 even though I didn't switch it here. So this is what I intended. All right, all good. Good luck, Timber. Well, we'll put that kick to the test here. But I like this opener on the Beetle or the Terrarium. Probably Beetle into Gravelighter with the easy sack. Huh, that's interesting. But I'm still going to stick with my line.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Pilot Maker. Ooh. Well, we'll get to that eventually. Let's take out the pilot for right now. Not that Timber can't just play another one and get there, but we're going to make him have another one. Then we'll get a Terrarium for the green. Might even cycle this for another land. That's what I was afraid of. Goldern it. The pilots start spitting out. Yeah, I think we go... like this. And now we go get a Plains to make sure we had 5, but that doesn't give us the kick at all. So let's just play the Soul Ripper and have a 4/3 blocker, which we might need to use to try and trade with the prototype, which I would do. Although I do get to fade it next turn. I'm going to play the Soul Ripper and at least threaten it and see what Timber wants to do. Replacement blocker mode. All right, well, Timber's going to get a couple of frustrating 1/1 tokens out of it, but this is a good, nice pickup, and we get to fade it now. We just gotta survive. I'm gonna go make sure we keep the green, but plain cycle the samurai. And hopefully we have enough life here to withstand. Gloom Shrieker. Touch. Let's see, this thing, a lot of, this is more medium stuff here, but we can get, maybe just play this and put a counter on it. Although this thing dying wouldn't be the worst at 12. What do we block? How are we blocking this? I mean, this is just going to get through. I just worry about other bigger stuff. Yes, it gains you life. But also you don't necessarily introduce a keyword in your set just because technically the keyword is those rules. Keywords are there to give a cohesive sense of a set. So a random stray keyword in a set just to technically use the keyword is not necessarily the best player experience. All right. Well, we can do... Yeah, you know, at 12... At 12, I kind of almost like getting aggro with the Soul Ripper. But maybe that's excessive. Yeah. I'm going to go... what does a 4-3 do for us, though? Now, I'm going to do this. Sorry for taking so long in this turn. It's just I don't love... Only doing this, but whatever, this is my choice. I did it. Can I put this on a vehicle? Target creature only. Okay, never mind. Gloom Beetle that's interesting, Logan. Yeah, that was a line I could have considered. I guess I was trying to get more value back from the Shrieker than a Beetle, but that's pretty good value here, so maybe I'm just being too greedy there. Yeah, let's try that line now. I think I'll go with Logan's line this time. Well, that's fine. They're rare and it's a cycle. There's 5 of them. So rarity matters too. I don't think you want to do that on a single uncommon, but a cycle of rares is fine. Now, I do have an attack, but it means going pretty low on life on the crackback. I guess I get the beetle behind, though, to threaten blocks. So, yeah, we'll do it. I mean, I would have to take this, but that's okay. Cycling is evergreen, but plains cycling is not. So this was about whether to put plains cycling on a card. Oh yeah, that's an interesting line too, to cycle this through to get another green source. We'll get that eventually. This is why I like it in here. Yeah, it's stuck in our hand now, but by the time you can cast it, it's a 2 or 3 for 1. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think cycling is evergreen. That's a good point. They just use it a lot, but it's not literally evergreen. Evergreen means you can use it on any card in any set with impunity, and that's not true, but certainly plain cycling is not. All right, well, I want the beetle threatening the pilots, so I'm going to sack the terrarium and go ahead and give it the counter without paying 2 mana. Punished. Might have to reconfigure and hope for next turn. So what about Kieran and Terrarium? I could have done this differently, I think, and played the chef out too, so that was bad sequencing on my part. But happy to get this land at least. And then we're going to say no attacks, try to survive, and equip the Kieran and then not lose. That's the plan. And it does. We could actually just punch here. With Timber drawing off the top, it's also safe to kick a token and a 2/2. Which means we don't die to removal off the top. If we go Kieran, we probably die to removal off the top. But if we kick, we don't die to removal off the top. So I'm going to start there. And I could attack. I am going to attack, at least with the Kieran. I'm not looking to put it at risk, and if they have removal, we're not dead to an attack from a 1/1. Yeah, it's greedy, Logan, but am I blocking here? Let's say I left this behind. Are you you're going to block with the Kieran? I don't think so. So that's why. If I'm not, and if I block with the beetle, I can block with the beetle, and then I do have Dockside to still equip. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to block, and then Channel might be thinking that we don't have. That leaves us with nowhere to put the Kieran, but that's not the case. It looks like we need it. Get the damage in, and then suit up. Dead to removal, but pretty good otherwise. Let's sack the terrarium. Oh, what a draw. Boy, that was terrible. Well, got some lack of action out of the way, I guess. And no flying blocking. 16 turn clock timber. Wouldn't count on that. Yeah, but if the chef sacks itself, we lose. We're at -1 right now. (22-17), so we do have to find a way to win. I can't tell if you're legit not paying attention, Rob, or treating this like a Friday. That's a good question. I don't know the magic timing. Equipped creature has flying and you can't lose the game and your opponents can't win the game. I think so. It stays equipped. Equip goes on the stack. And then when it resolves, it goes right over, right? I don't think it's never not equipped to something. Great. Something to do. Right now, Timber's just waiting to find any piece of removal in the deck for a stupid dockside chef, and we lose. Maybe Timber's completely out of interaction. Why are you doing this, Rob? I mean, you know, I let you out of your cage. I'm used to it on frickin' gauntlet days, but Rob, stop giving me bad advice. I don't like it. Seriously. Gauntlet days, it locks in. Today, it's just, you're bothering me. Can't afford it yet. Next turn. No, I've had Platinum Angel situations that were far more dire than that. Platinum Angel with no cards in library and negative a gazillion is probably the most dead I've ever been. Most dead to removal. Oh yeah, let's see. So Esper Control from Tranel. I'm really just trying to outvalue him and failed there because of significant flood. Do we have white, black, green cards that seem relevant? Calling Torment. I don't think we saw enough for that. I mean, there's a little bit, but not. We didn't see quite enough for that. So, well, there you go. I mean, I lost again, but I resolved Spinning Kick as a 2-for-1. I don't know. I certainly didn't lose because Spinning Kick got us a 2-for-1. I think I have. Don't I have another? I could do safekeeping if we thought we were getting targeted. Maybe a safekeeping in, although I don't like trying to hold the green up. Although I guess if we have the splash, we have the splash. But also, yeah, maybe with the removal and trying to keep precious things alive, we could cut one. We could add one of those. But what will we cut? Maybe for this bargain? I'll try this. Or maybe the return to action. Although we have a lot of ETB, I like this card a lot in the deck. I'm going to try this. Seems fair. Yes! Oh boy. Now we're in risky keep, potentially. If we ditch the spinning wheel kick, we have a land and a terrarium. We land off the top. We have terrarium on 2 for a 3rd land that unlocks the rest of the hand. And, well, it doesn't unlock the embrace. I have to... This is a risky keep, gang, but I don't like going to 5. We're going to keep 6 and know that if we draw a land off the top, we're in solid shape. If it's another plains, that's bad, but even not terrible. It's pretty bad, though. If it's a swamp or a forest, though, then we're in solid shape. And going to 5 versus crossing fingers for a land off the top to make a hand solidly keepable, I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep. But lot riding on this next draw. All right, missed it there. If we can find one more, can still get there. All right, now it's almost GG. But we'll give it one more turn here. Yeah, it's mana. We'll go black. And I got my wish of land, but of course, the roughest of the lands to get. Well, now I got, let's see, if I go get... Now, I can't play the chef and go get a... I guess I should have gone green there. That would have been correct. If I'd gone forest here, I could have fetched a swamp with this to go terrarium chef. Not that I'm blocking, but that would have been much better sequencing. As it is, I think I'll go barrens for the life and the terrarium for the green.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
We got Chef plus Shrieker, but Shrieker doesn't do anything. We can Fade and Chef. At least that's removal. We might need to do that. Can't crew with the Chef, so... And this doesn't get anything yet. So I think I like Fade Chef. Even though that's not a high value target, we're at a do something mode here. This lets us at least Twisted Embrace. Well, not anymore. Hacked again. Well, we can go Beetle. That's true. I would like to use this a little more valuably than that, but we could fall. We can fall next turn. What about... Yeah, I just don't want to yet now, but I appreciate the reminder that I can. Let's go Beetle and Soul Ripper. Survive a turn. We might get attacked by a mech, but then we can find potentially a land and or just and then fall and still do something, a second thing. Fall in this, for example. It also Terrarium, I suppose, put a counter on the Beetle. Then it threatens to block a Samurai. Yeah. I'm gonna do that. Hat's going deep on cleverness. I'm being dumb and straightforward. I make Beetle block Samurai. But looks like they're going to crew. Timber's going to crew here, which I thought is possible, but we'll go to 6, and then we have Fall of Conda, and if we find a land, we can still play a Soul Ripper that can even be crewed. So big smack, but then we got something to do about it. That's the land I wanted. Oh, it's creature, never mind. Reading Stream. So that plan is off. Can this get artifacts? Sometimes you can get vehicles. Black can't generally get artifacts, but sometimes you can get vehicles. So it can't, though. So what are we doing? Darn it. Shrieker for Terrarium? Shrieker for something. But this thing is tough. So I think it's probably Shrieker and then drop Soul Ripper so that we at least have options. Makes some sense. That's the plan. I'm pretty happy with how this is going given how it started. And I guess maybe Chef... Although we want more land. Chef's a little clunky for this situation. I'm going to get the Terrarium and make sure we're hitting land drops and making some creatures bigger. Well, given that we missed land drops 2 and 3, you gotta say, gotta admit we're doing pretty all right. I like how we've made a game of it. We're still in deep trouble, but given a mold of 6 and stuck on 1 until turn 3 or 4, could be a lot worse. That's pretty bad, though, gotta say. We're gonna go to 1, no matter how we slice it, if Timber swings away with everything. But we do have 6 power to block a 6/6 menace. But if Timber has removal, we dead. And how do we survive next turn? I don't even know. Oh yeah, that's right. I can't even kill this. I kill the samurai. So that's big trouble. Too bad. I think we can go terrarium, kill prowler. Oh, we can't quite. Oh yeah, we can. Terrarium, kill prowler, and then if Timber is completely out of creatures, we might be okay for a turn. You know, we buy some time. Get our second green source. I like that we have this weird twisted terrarium that will single-handedly power our Naomi. That's kind of cool. All right. It works now. And sure, we'll do this. I guess we could hold and fade the second chapter here. But we play Naomi and we get a samurai we can throw under the bus. Trouble is they kill the samurai and then we throw Naomi under the bus. Although at that point we just discard or return to action. Okay, I'm fine with it. Oh, but it's on them right now. So that's, so I could still discard. We discard the fall, but let's just sack the old token. See if Naomi lives here. All right. Naomi lives. We've got return to action. I'm going to start with the attack, although I think... Didn't we get... Well, let's see. Let's start with attack. We get the benefit thanks to our terrarium. And yeah, beetle holding return seems all right. I could fire this off, but we lose our enchantment. We have fall behind, but I'm not going to do that now. I like this samurai maker in its own weird way. I love that we've both twisted embraced non-creatures. It's funny. Yeah, we can kick down the 4/4, but it's also actually something we can hit with the fall. But kicking, we could just kick now and then get both of these with Naomi, and that just clears the attack better. So let's just do that. We do go shields down on return to action, though, which I don't love. And we could just fall the 4/4 and only send Naomi, and that's okay, too. I think I'm on that. Because I really want to hold the return to action here. So I'm gonna... I mean, I can even leave this. I don't need to do anything. I can just swing with Naomi and leave it all. Yeah, it is a lot of mana to kick into. Good point. So... But I like fall. Let's try falling the Knight's Reach at least. See if that works. Double kick something else. I like the exile there too. No shenanigans from Trannel on that one, at least. Trouble with Return to Action is there's a lot of Exile stuff going around in the set, so Timber may pull off a removal on Naomi where the Return to Action doesn't do what we want.
My name is Doug. I have just met you, and I love you.
What?
Squirrel!
Ugh. That card! Well, I'm gonna get a whole suite of tutus of my own. Probably just running Return to Action, or running Naomi into the big gang block with the Return to Action. And bummer, need to take the 2 and... Well, yeah, I suppose we could do that. Maybe that is the play. It gets the last card. Really wanted to do it there, but yeah, you're right. Let's do it. Especially with tapped out. We gotta take it while we can get it. I like it. Boom! Good line, normal. Worked out. Send in Naomi. Leave back the beetle. And now we got to do some kick-in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, too bad this wasn't a basic, huh? We could get our triple shot in, and there's an argument for going for that, but not really. I'm just gonna 2 for 1 on the disciple and one of the tokens, and that's gonna have to be good enough. Too greedy to wait till next turn, I think. Sending a solo for the life link, sure. Save it, Timber, save it! Aww. Land is not ideal. If I made a 5/5 Naomi and attacked, we would now still get the benefit because we have an artifact and an enchantment. If they block, if Timber blocks with everything, they get to trade my Naomi for 2 of their 3 and probably just leave a leave the 2/2 Vigilant Samurai. I don't love that trade, so we're not gonna do it. We're gonna pass. I also don't love cracking the terrarium for nothing much here. What do you mean they can't leave anything? Don't they just sack this? Oh yeah, they sack. If they sack that, they don't get the damage. That's fair. So maybe for clearing the board, I would do it. And what do we got here? Oh, nice, nice. We finally get to do it, gang. I'm gonna get 2 rats from the tribute, and then I'm gonna get rid of the tribute and just get 2 rats. I don't have to do it yet. I'm gonna get rats. Oh yeah. So let's make that offer that I wasn't willing to do a moment ago because I didn't do the math right, and this seems good. I can't get it before it flips? What do you mean? Can't I? Oh, because I'm used to these being, sorry, I'm not yelling in the mic. It's artifact or creature. Darn it. Okay, well, still doing this then. We can... I wonder if we can, yeah, darn it. Can't even do that, though. That's the thing. Well, understand... Imagine my thinking when I was thinking this was an O-ring. Right? If this is an O-ring, what's your sequence? That's what I was thinking of. I could send in the beetle because but I don't want to offer it because also Timber could just take the Naomi play here. I can't, oh, didn't I attack all? Never mind. I thought that was sick. I was thinking of it like my own saga. Blink to save? I just like that trade. I'm pretty good with that. I mean, I know that I don't get to keep the rats, but I do get to get rid of this, and I think we'll be in decent shape. I mean, at least we're ahead by a little bit. We could... No, we can't. This is for artifacts and creatures. So yeah, I don't know, like, what blinking you want to do and why. We could blink our... this, but it's exile creature, and it doesn't get anything. So I think we're just untapping here. I'm not going to bluff the beetle. So they're going to get some rats. They'll probably sack one to draw a card, but then I'll use Touch of the Spirit Realm to get rid of the 3/3 flyer. Just sad that it's not an O-ring and I couldn't do it and keep these sweet rats. Oof. Well, I got this again. How can we lose? No. I already looked at that. Exile target creature an opponent controls with mana value 4 or greater. Yeah, blinking this to kill something would be great, but Oppo has done, Timber's done us no favors on that front. We got nothing to kill with the blink. So, as it is, we will decide what to touch here. God, it's just still gotta be this stupid Death's Wail, because if we're gonna win, it's in the air. So yeah, blah, blah. And then we try to block and kill on the ground on the prototype. And when the dust settles, hopefully we have a place to put the Kieran to not lose. Kind of liking Timber's spot here. But this is, I don't know, this is kind of how I guess it went for this deck. Like, I don't think the deck is bad. I think my deck is good, but I've been having trouble. I can't win with this deck. That's true. We do have the mana to cast and equip. So I could have waited until next turn. But we also do threaten a block on a 1/1 if need be, which we might need to, given the 3/2 and a 3/4 that might get crewed by something else. Yeah, I don't think that line is correct, though. Yeah, that's the problem. So, where did the death touch come from? What did I miss? Oh, the Prowler, of course. So we'll go Samurai and Beetle here. This here, and then take 3? Or we really need to kill this thing, though, don't we? We got to figure out... We got to get this thing dead, or what are we doing? But then... Oh, yeah, it's not Menace. That's right. So, good. But how do we win without... I really need this thing dead, but we can't kill it without losing our Kieran. But the thing is, Kieran's not realistically going to win us this game anyway. It staves you off until they find the removal, but really we need to pretend like we don't have any sort of can't lose the game effect, because effectively we don't. Not realistically. So what I'm going to do is go like this. Here, and like so. Then we're offering trade, 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 and this, at least when it dies, draws a card. So this is what I'm going to go with. Feels like our best chance. I really want the card. Hey, look, I have good cards too. I remember that now. Well, this has got to be good for us. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. We can Gloom Shrieker, have 7 left, and Naomi for some more ongoing action. I think getting Naomi back and going makes some sense. Twisted Embrace is removal we could grab, but Naomi just makes ongoing bodies. I think we have to do that. Oh, sorry. You know what? I saw this clump and was thinking that it was it was my thing, but it's not. So okay. So then, given that, we're gonna probably do the Emperor play. We can go 3 and 4 for 7 with 3 left over. What do we want then? Do we could still get Naomi, expecting to get it back. We could get the Kieran and just try and rebuy or not lose the game. But again, I don't think that it means we don't lose the game. It just means we lose the game later. And I don't think we necessarily have to dump our hand here. But it is a 3 mana. If it's the card we want, that's fine. So maybe that is good to just do it that way. And do we have enough white? Yeah, we have enough white. So we go... yes, that works. Yes, that works. Man, I was all excited about Naomi, but this will be good as well. Flash in a Planeswalker, depending on how the attacks look. Alright, so let's flash this in and then decide what's happening with it. Samurai with Vigilance, exile target tapped creature, and I gain 2 life. That seems pretty good. Let's just exile and gain here. Even though, yeah, plus, you like plussing? Just give first strike. That works too. That works too. Yeah, that's fair. If Tranel doesn't have anything else, the first strike is pretty good. We'll try that. Because if we can keep all the loyalty here, obviously that's nice. And I'll spread it around, throw it on the Gloom Shrieker.
This fight.
Oh, sorry, Timber. I was playing slow and enjoying it, but appreciate your time and appreciate the good games. My bad, though. I should have checked in with you on time, made sure we were good. I am going to call this a notched win against Timber. Darn it, that was a really interesting game. I was really interested to see how that was going to go. Really just got a... really got stabilized there and was going to be interesting. All right, well, Timber's got to go at noon. I do too. Glad we got to play some Arena today. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Let's see who to raid. Autumn Lily, Manaleek, Alias V. Well, I haven't rated Alias V in a million years. What does that mean? Oh, it's a rerun. Never mind. Will not send you to Alias. Semilin, though. Jamie, of course. Amazonian. Let's raid Amy. Haven't rated Amazonian in quite a while. So we're going to raid Amy today. Unless somebody redeems quickly. I don't see Math Core. I might offer to do the listen up, but I'm going to wait for Math. Well, I've rated the Manaleek more recently than I've rated Amy, so I'm going to do that. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Appreciate it. Pretty good chunk of viewers here for as erratic as I've been schedule-wise, so really appreciate it. But stick around for Amy. Don't go anywhere. At least raid Amy and then leave. Give her a nice big number and then take off, all right? Will you do that for me? Thank you, gang. No gauntlet this week. We're going to figure out what to do on Friday. But probably some more Magic the Gathering is going to be my guess. So thanks, everybody. I'm going to send you to Amy. Have a great couple of days, and see you on Friday.